Hi everyone, today I want to do a walkthrough of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot by Avalon and artwork by Tourian. And many people within the tarot community have been waiting for this tarot deck with great excitement, as have I. I actually missed out on the Kickstarter campaign the first time around. I picked up my copy on Etsy once they were available. I had myself signed up, so as soon as the email came from Avalon, I clicked and picked it up straight away, and I'm so glad I did, because I believe it's not available anymore, and I'm so sorry to say that because I'm about to do a walkthrough, but I just felt like still this is worth talking about and sharing, because this artwork is so beautiful, and especially for this time of year as well, I feel like this is the perfect time to release a deck like this. I haven't read all of the literature from the Kickstarter campaign, so there's so much that I don't know about this deck. I just knew from the artwork and from loving Avalon's work and from loving Tourian's work, I just knew this was a deck I needed to have in my collection. And it actually arrived earlier this week. I took a picture and put it on Instagram, and I also shared it in Simon at Hermit's Caves Facebook group as well, and that's where I think I found out that they don't actually have any left. So I might be wrong, and I will leave links below if I can find them, and potentially they'll be doing a second edition. I'm not entirely sure, but that's all something that I'm sure we will find out about. If you're curious, I'm burning Crowned in Blood and Glory incense by Joey Morris at Starry Eyed Supplies, which is my favourite. I also have in here, I have some soy wax on top, and I have some of her incense as well in here, her loose incense, as well as some local pine and some mullein as well, because I've been working with that the last few evenings. So I'm just gonna get started and show you the deck. I might just have to move some of the bits out the way. So it comes in this massive, really sturdy box, which is wonderful to see. Lovely red interior, and you have this incredible book. Would you just look at this? This is so meaty, this book. Look how thick. This is definitely a book that I'm going to put on the bookshelf. I mean, the illustrations are just so breathtaking. So it's a black and white book, but you can see you've got lots and lots of meanings for each card, so it's deep, and I wouldn't expect anything less from Avalon. So I'm so excited to get stuck into this as well. So as you can see, I have taken off the little papers, and I did flip through, but this is exactly how it looked when I opened it up. So as you can see, this is how the carton is separated. You've got your two sides for half and half of the deck, which might not be some people's preference, but I don't really mind. I probably won't be keeping it in the box, because I'll be having it out on my altar for most of this season, definitely, and then maybe I'll get myself a little bag for it, because it's going to be one of my favourites that I want to work with all the time. So Avalon says, the Bonestone and Earthflesh is dedicated to the mystics, the seers, the dreamers and the weavers, but most of all it is dedicated to those who've watched on as Anna and I brought this deck to life. Your support made this possible, your humour made it great, and your trust in us both made the Bonestone and Earthflesh pure magic. And there's a little quote here from Rachel Carson, Silent Spring. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter. And that's exactly the vibe I get from this deck. It's all about that cycle of life and death, and celebrating it and taking comfort in it, and knowing that there will be a renewal, and that's why I think it just works so well for this time of year. I'm just really feeling it with the colours, and for autumn this is just the perfect vibes. So I just show you on the back, you've got a little sample at all the pictures there, and it says, step into the primeval world of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. Glimpse through the looking glass at a time bursting with sacred divine landscapes and enduring narratives. Here you will meet and journey with the hero, villain, lover and warrior, those who are sovereign and those who, whether by choice or circumstance, suffer to a bitter end. This is a world between a world, a place of discovery, redemption, damnation and explosive self-realizations. I have a feeling that this deck is going to be incredible for shadow work as well. So I just dropped the deck and had to put it back together, but I think I'm okay. Hang on, let me just sort myself out. So let's take a little look at the backs. You've got this really, really beautiful lemniscate. It looks like the sort of infinity sign, and then you've got these leaves overlaying this kind of ribbon, infinity 8. So it is kind of symbolic, I think, of the cycles. And I just love this incredible red gilding. This is just luxurious and beautiful, and it is so earthy. And I mean, it's bloody, isn't it? It really feels like deathly, but in a beautiful, beautiful way. It's sort of celebratory. It's just so, so beautiful. You can see I've got a little bit of a chip there, so maybe that happened in transit. This is probably a deck that I won't want to riffle shuffle with because of that. This deck is not massive. It is slightly bigger, I believe, than a Rider-Waite-Smith. It's not as big as some other decks, and it's certainly big enough to wrap your hands around, as you can see. So let's just get started, because I just cannot wait to show you each card. So I'm going to zoom you in. So here we have the Fool, and you've got this beautiful opening up into the universe from this tree, which I absolutely adore. And the Fool seems to be this young maiden here with this beautiful flowing hair. And there's a spider and the fae, and there's all of these beautiful earthy elements, the mushrooms, and there's more fae here, and obviously the tree spirit as well. It's so wise and beautiful, and it does feel like the beginning of adventure. And here you've got the Magician. He reminds me so much of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. I'm sure he reminds other people of that as well, but I just love the way he's a sorcerer, and he's got these different elements in his palms, and you can see the magic he's making. And then he's got what looks like a crow or a corvid on his shoulder, and you've got the skulls in the background, all his potions and such, and you can really, really see the magic. This is perfect, a perfect depiction. This is the High Priestess. I love this. This is quite abstract. She almost looks like a tree spirit, but sort of also coming out of a tree maybe. And you've got lots of life buried beneath. It's almost like past lives, or like she's coming out of the earth, or it's almost as if she's in a cave as well. So it is kind of walking between the worlds of life and death, I feel, and like reincarnation. And she has that wisdom and that spiritual knowledge, that archetypal kind of wisdom that the High Priestess has, but this is obviously not a typical representation at all. There's spiders and birds, and it looks like a planet and earth. I can't see like a pomegranate or a scroll or anything like you'd expect in an RWS, but this is clearly a different kind of deck. But I just love that. It's so beautiful. And this, oh my goodness, the Empress. She is part of the tree, isn't she? This actually reminds me of that film with Natalie Portman. I can't remember what it's called, but it's quite a creepy film actually, and it's like where cells start to mutate and turn into other things, and some people turn into trees in this other world. But I love how you have the corn and all the fruits and the abundant vegetables here, and you've got these butterflies and the growth here of the plants and the roots of the trees. And I just love how the tree is coming into her belly here, and you've got the roots, the growth here. It's so beautiful. The Emperor, he looks like a very action-based emperor. Often you see the emperor just seated, but I love how he's in the middle of something, and it looks like he is battling something to try to protect or save or manage his kingdom or his land. And I love how you've got the horns as well. Love how you've got these like antlers here, and you've got blood on this as well. It is a beautiful card. I can't wait to read the description for that. The Hierophant, oh, I just love the wisdom here. Again, this is like she's connected to the tree. It's almost like the Empress later on in life as the crone. Stunning. The Lovers, I absolutely adore this. Oh, just gorgeous. The Cauldron and the two coming together. That's so stunning. The Chariot, you've got this gypsy. I love this sort of travelling woman and this fabulous gypsy kind of boho skirt. The beautiful Traveller's Home, I absolutely love this. Strength, so good. She's got this balance here of all of the different animals. It really does feel almost like a temperance sort of card, but because she's got the red hair, it feels like she is getting that, you know, she's got that strength. She's holding back and taming those sort of inner beasts, but they're ready to strike at any point. The Hermit, oh, I love that. She's got like the stars in her hand, and it looks like she's in a cave, and there's kind of this primal art on the walls and the fire, and it's almost like a bird spirit as well is part of her. I just love this interconnectedness of everything. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's like the Fates, and the Weird Sisters, and they are spinning and weaving the fate. I love it. Oh my gosh, how many times am I going to say I love it? Justice, that balance there. This feels like the balance you need to get between your warrior side and your peaceful side, you know, and knowing when it's right, when to do what and what's right, and, you know, how to speak up for what you know is right. The Hanged One, or the Hanged Man, sorry. And it's interesting, it looks like he's got runes in his hands, but there also, it looks like blood. That's an interesting depiction. Death, I love that. How the crows are making the skull in the sky and coming out of him, and then he's connected to the earth as well. It feels so connected to spirit and connected to earth. Temperance, I love that again as well. The bones, the earth, the roots, and the hourglass, and the balance of the water and the earth. It's just stunning. So much to dig into here. The Devil, wow, and it looks like Medusa. This figure has got snakes for hair, and it appears to be a female presenting figure, goat's feet, and there is I think that's pomegranate standing on lots of skulls, and there are these other figures here. They feel like almost tormented souls, lost in love perhaps. I'm not sure what it is that this figure is holding. It looks maybe like a heart. So much to look into, and I'm so excited to read the guidebook as well. Ooh, the Tower. This is a really interesting depiction. Is this an eagle or a bird of prey perhaps? But it looks like it's been taken down. It's like it's chained down, but it also looks wounded as well. So that is an interesting, really interesting depiction. The Star, that is beautiful, glorious. This actually reminds me of the Phalakos Tarot again, the Tower card specifically, when you've got the figure with the light coming through the figure. It's a bit like that, except it's sort of more hopeful, highly connected to spirit. Beautiful. The Moon, there she is wading in the waters of emotion and truth, and she's seeking the truth, and she's going into her subconscious and delving deep. I love it so much. The Sun, how glorious is this? You've got this maypole, Mayday, Beltane feel to it. It feels very fertile and abundant, and oh, just seeds of growth, and it's definitely the epitome of the Sun card to me. Judgment. Yeah, I really like this one. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Darkwood Tarot, but obviously more detailed and very different art style as well. But yeah, it almost looks like she's coming out of the tree, like it's earth giving that judgment. So stunning. The art, Anna Tourian's art, is absolutely incredible. The World card, this is incredible. The way you've got all of the roots and everything is connected. It is literally like everything is connected, and of course you've got the colours here of the sort of chakra colours going from the root to the sacral and the solar plexus and the heart and the third eye and then the crown chakra. Stunning depiction. And I think this is the Bruja. I think that's how you say it, but I could be wrong. And let's get the guidebook. This is an additional card. Let's have a look, see what Anna says about this card. So the meanings are called Stories of the Flesh. Oh, there are journal prompts. How great is that? Ah, at the end. The Bruja is at the end. So the Bruja is associated with Scorpio and Saturn, and its herbal associations are mugwort, eyebright, angelica root, black tourmaline, labradorite, clear quartz. And the essence is surrender, trust, patience, self-improvement, empowerment, divination, letting go, soul work, self-help, between worlds, guidance, spiritual blindness, stubbornness, denial, impatience, and blockage. So there's a lot to come through this card. There's mention of ancestors. So it says here the Bruja is a walker of worlds. She calls out to realms behind the veil, above, below, within, and without. It almost seems here like the Bruja is the High Priestess and the Magician, and also the World card, all kind of bound into one and connected to ancestors and such. So it feels like a very ancestral card. And with all of these, there are journal prompts as well, which is fantastic. I'm so excited to get stuck into the journal prompts. Okay, so that's the end of the major arcana, and we start with the Ace of Wands. I love the simplicity of this, and you've got the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Two of Wands. Yeah, this feels very much like a discovery and a stepping through like a portal. This feels like where the Fool might get to sort of later down the line. Three of Wands here. Obviously very primitive kind of indigenous cultures, and they are tattooing what looks like in a very painful way, but It looks like a ritual of some kind, sacred rite. And Four of Wands, this is a gorgeous card. It's very, very different to the RWS, but again, it's got that same essence of celebration to it. Five of Wands here. There's almost this competition here, this climbing to the top, like who can get there first. Six of Wands. Does this remind anyone else of, from Game of Thrones? Richard Madden's character, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen Game of Thrones, it really does remind me. This is Six of Wands, anyway. Seven of Wands. Wow, yeah, she's taking no prisoners, is she? Eight of Wands. Wow, you can really feel the pace of this. You can almost hear the hooves, actually. Powerful. And oh my gosh, Anna's art is incredible. I am absolutely in awe. Nine of Wands. I love this. Oh wow. It looks like she is desperate, really. Honestly, this card screams to me of like someone hanging on to like a thread to survive, you know, and they are ready to go because they know there's more coming, but actually they could just crumble. That's so powerful. I'm gonna relight my incense. Ten of Wands. Oh, Page of Wands. This, to me, wow, this screams the essence of Page of Wands. And I'm pretty sure I had the Page of Wands in my reading today, and it was from the Morgan Greer Tarot. It was the Page of Rods. Look at that saber-toothed tiger. And they are intertwined, they are connected. And this forging of the weapons with the Knight of Wands. So much power. Oh, this is so beautiful. And she's got this Ouroboros again around her neck. It's like the essence of her. The Queen of Wands. And this is stunning as well. It's very Egyptian themed. King of Wands. Very beautiful card. This is stunning. Ace of Cups. Wow, and the colour. I never would have put that colour with it, but that is stunning. It looks like this planet, this moon, is kind of bleeding into the water. Two of Cups. That is stunning. I love that card. That's so beautiful. There's this heart-mind connection, and you've got the colours here of the crown chakra. It feels like very divinely guided and a divine kind of union. Oh, I love this, the Three of Cups. This could be one of my favourite Three of Cups cards, actually, because they look so witchy, and I just love that. And they are dancing around the cauldron. This is so perfect for this season. I love it. Four of Cups. Yeah, it's like he's got his eyes closed and he's not seeing all of the bounty that is, all the fish that are around, because he's got all these other fish. He's taking it for granted, maybe. Five of Cups. Wow, desolate. This is sad. This is really, really sad and really poignant as well. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. Wow, look at all that. Look at all of the abundance he has and all the choices. I love how these cards have been depicted and interpreted. Eight of Cups. There's something very hermit-like about this card, I think. I think the two cards actually are quite connected. But yeah, the lantern definitely, and just, it's almost like this person here is the spirit figure here, or you could interpret it the other way around as well, I guess. It's almost like a montage of what's happening. Nine of Cups. I love the colours again. And the Ten of Cups. This is like completion of the cups. This is a complete abundance. Look how massive that cup is. It's full to the brim and a light shining from it. It feels so full of abundance. Page of Cups. Wow, I love this. She is the water herself. She is so connected. There isn't a fish in her cup though. And the Knight of Cups. Yes, she's on a mission. I love this. I guess it's like a mermaid. Yep, another mermaid here. Merfolk. Queen of Cups. I love this. And you've got this merman. King of Cups. Ooh, Ace of Swords. I love this feather. One of my favourite decks is the Witches Insurrection, and that has feathers for swords as well. Actually, maybe feathers are wands. I'm not sure. I need to check that. But potentially. I always think feathers anyway work so well with swords. That's just so beautiful. Oh, Two of Swords. Anything with a baby in it and I just melt. But that's so interesting. I wonder what the guidebook says about this. She's got like a pendulum here, like a crystal on a chain, and she's using it as a pendulum. And then there's the crow, the corvid here. She's got her baby on her back. It feels like she is having to make choices between which direction to go in, and she's using her divination skills to figure out what is the best way. Three of Swords. Wow. See, there's still life coming from this, but there is certain death as well. This like ashy heart of the earth. Four of Swords. Feels like there's so much left to do, but with him walking into the water, it's like he's got some time to chill out. 5 of Swords here, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords. I really like the way this one looks. It is beautiful. You can feel she looks quite trapped though, not sure what to do. Is this the saber-toothed tiger again? 9 of Swords. That is quite scary. Imagine if you had that coming out from the dark at you. The 10 of Swords. I really like this depiction a lot because you've got the crows, the corvids, feasting on the flesh, which is of course what they do, but look how gross. We've got these heads on sticks. It's a battlefield, isn't it? And this guy is toast. Bonestone and Earthflesh. It's the nature of the deck. Page of Swords. The flying book. Wow, he's learning a lot. He's getting all of the wisdom from the books. I love that. The Knight of Swords, and she is going somewhere fast with the owl and the horse and her wings. I love it. Oh, this is the Queen of Swords. This is one of the reasons why I had to have this deck, and she's depicted as if she's the Morrigan, actually, the Celtic Irish deity who I do work with, and I absolutely love this. I think it is stunning. This is the King of Swords. Similar to the other kings as well, they're all close-ups of the face like this. He's got the hilt of his sword right there. It's like the ultimate protection. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. How the skull is still alive. It's like living through the earth. It's connected with roots. I love that. The essence lives on. Look at that spider in the 2 of Pentacles. I'm just wondering, is the spiral something to do with, the spiral and the web something to do with the balance that comes from this card? I'm not sure. Be interested to read the description. The 3 of Pentacles. I like this one a lot. They are working together to create something beautiful, and it's some kind of community structure. 4 of Pentacles. Wow, it's like she no longer is anything but her possessions. That's quite an interesting depiction as well. 5 of Pentacles. Oh, their faces and the babies. But they have each other and they are beneath shelter, so all isn't done for. 6 of Pentacles. This is sweet. That's lovely. I really like this reimagining of the card. The 7 of Pentacles. I really, really like this card. And she's really, really dedicating her time and energy to these mushrooms. And the 8 of Pentacles. Again, honing her craft, and it's a very specific craft. Looks like she's carving her knife. Or what is this, like a scythe? Is that the right word for it? 9 of Pentacles. I love that. That's stunning. And the trees coming out of her hair. And the rose. It's just beautiful. 10 of Pentacles. The livestock here. The family. In various generations, I guess. And then you've got this little homestead here. Page of Pentacles. This guy looks quite secure, doesn't he? Very much enjoying those grapes and the wine. Ooh, this is interesting. Another feminine figure with snakes in her hair. She is the snake, and the snake is her. Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. She is a crone, and it looks like she's got a foot here from a bird or something. Like maybe she's a witch. And here you have the King of Pentacles, very green man depiction. I love it so much. Wow. This is such a deep deck. Like, there's so much in every single image, isn't there? This is going to be incredible to work with. So I'm going to give it a shuffle, and we can take a look at what the deck has to tell us today. Just going to take it off the camera a little bit so I can shuffle it a bit easier, and I'll be back in a sec. So I've given the cards a good shuffle off the screen, and I'm going to give them another bit of a shuffle now. And let's just ask for the wisdom of this deck to give us a timeless message for everyone watching this video, something we need to know today, in this moment, whenever we happen to be watching this, as I'm reading this now, a message for all of us watching and taking part in this video. What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What do we need to take away? What are the energies that we need to be aware of right now? Whoa, okay. And it is my favourite card, the Queen of Swords. It's just spectacular. And because it's the one card, it's a very, very straightforward message, I think. And I always feel like the Queen is a message about clarity and about standing in your truth, not being afraid to speak out about your feelings, about whatever situation you're in. If you are experiencing some difficulties at work or with family, it's about staying strong in your sense of self. And it's also about learning from past hurts and past failures. So I think that there's so much wisdom to be gained from this especially today. The Queen of Swords is a card that I ended up receiving for the main theme for my 2020 year-round reading, and it really has been showing up for me as like medicine for stepping into my power and for being the person that I really am, and not being afraid to show who I really am, you know, not being afraid of what other people think, and just being bold and brave with my words, but also being really careful and considerate with my words as well, because I think the Queen of Swords is highly emotionally intuitive and aware, but she's not reckless with her words. She's not like the Page of Swords might speak out of turn, but I feel like the Queen of Swords has really mastered this power within her, and she's using all of the knowledge that she's had from past hurts, as I said, and any experiences she's had. She's gained the wisdom along the way. She's doing the shadow work, and the Morrigan is a deity of the battlefield, and not just a war goddess, but she is a figure of sovereignty, and all about standing in your personal power and becoming who you are meant to be. And I feel like 2020 has really highlighted that for so many people. Like, we are being called to step into our power and to be honest and truthful and open, and to really be authentic in ourselves, like whatever we love, and to do it. And also to know that as long as we know we are being authentic with ourselves, as long as we feel that authenticity and that we are speaking out on behalf of others, you know, we're advocating for others, we're doing our work, we're doing our shadow work, we're delving into those shadows when they come up, as long as we're doing that work and we're being kind and considerate about other people's feelings, and we are doing all of that, then we are doing the work. And, you know, not to get complacent about it, but to know that to do that, we can stand in our own power, and we can really be sovereign goddesses, sovereign Queen of Swords, you know, and stand in that power, you know, and really walk the line between life and death, and to embrace the cycles of the earth. And I feel like this deck really just encompasses that and embraces that, and just brings it into this whole beautiful picture for us, because death is so often feared. I mean, even us today in our society and this Western culture that I am living in, there is so much fear around death and losing others, and it's something that, you know, I like to work through. But there is something so powerful about the skull, and to me it does symbolize this kind of like eternal life, as well as the reincarnation and the cyclical nature of earth-based religions and pagan spirituality. It really does speak to me of those cycles as well. So I feel like right now is a time to step into that, and to really embrace the time that we are in, and to not be fearful either. And if we are fearful, we can speak out to God, or to the universe, or to our deities, or to the higher power, to our higher selves. We can speak out, we can speak to our ancestors. You know, a lot of this is about connecting with the ancestors as well, and especially at this time of the year, it's just perfect for that. So I'm so glad I got this message, because I love this card, and clearly the Queen of Swords has a message for me today. So I'm going to grab the book actually as well, just to give you an idea of what the book says about this beautiful card. So the Bonestone and Earthflesh name for the Queen of Swords is the Raven Queen. Character of inspiration, the Morrigan. There's associations for astrology and elements. So you've got elemental combination, water of air, so because she's a queen, she's water, and air because swords. The essence is a teacher, diplomat, even-tempered, perceptive, astute. She's very wise, absolutely. Indomitable, personable, active listener, detail-oriented, swift thinker, strategist, focused, understanding, determined, innovated, inspired, single-minded, manipulated, callous, bitter, yes. Gossip, scheming, advocate. Yes, she is absolutely the advocate, and so is the Morrigan. Like, she is that deity that would advocate and that would ask us to step into service to advocate for others. And it is a time when that is needed. The Raven Queen holds a formidable legend. The raven is kindred to her, so too is the crow. Her legacy is that of battle and war. She is sovereign and will bring sovereignty out of those she deems worthy. She is a great teacher. Her lessons, however, are less than conventional. She will push you further than anyone before. You will feel the pressure. You may even crack. But the one thing is certain, once she is done with you, your life will never be the same. The cult of the Raven Queen is indeed real. Fathers and mothers send their daughters to her to be made. The child will later emerge as a warrior of the old ways, skilled in the art of battle and sorcery. The daughters of the Raven Queen are feared and respected across the land. Even the dead know of them. And then there's what to take from it in a reading as a person, if the card represents a person, and then the reverse meanings as well. So there's so much juicy stuff to delve into here. And then there's some fantastic journal prompts. These are really, really varied and broad questions. Avalon here is really, really putting her in the position of a teacher, of a leader, but someone who is, like she says, going to take you somewhere else. And people often talk about the Morrigan breaking you down and rebuilding you. And even recently I watched a video with Joey Morris, and she was talking about her experience with the Bave, or the Bive, and the Bave is one of the aspects of the Morrigan. And it is so interesting how she talks about nightmares and working with Bave, and how you can be brought these horrendous nightmares whilst working with the Morrigan, or that aspect of the Morrigan at least. And it's almost like being tested, but also to be strengthened, to be fortified for battle, because there is more ahead. And it's almost like that Nine of Wands, you know, there is more ahead of you, but instead of just barely standing, you have this incredible power of sovereignty behind you, this incredible archetype of sovereign wisdom, this divine feminine. And I'm not just talking about a woman, because, you know, it's not about sex at all, but, you know, this is a female archetype, goddess, but, you know, anyone can embrace these aspects of this particular deity and this particular archetype. There are so many masculine sides to this divine feminine archetype, so it is quite mixed. But because she is considered to be this goddess of battle and war, there is so much here to learn from her. And it's not just glorified war either, it is advocacy for others. And in the face of what we are going through right now, it is so, so important to be speaking out about those things that really, really matter. And there are some amazing people here on YouTube doing just that. I think this book is so, so juicy. I think Avalon's given us so much to work with here, and so is Anna. Anna Tourian's artwork is just so, so beautiful, so, so stunning. I am so glad I picked this up when I did. I am so sorry also if there are none of these left. I really, really do hope that they print more. I'm not sure what the situation is with that. I will try and find out and put something in the description box below, some links if I can. Thank you so much for joining me for this walkthrough. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it.